today we are working on Psalm number 75. Now, Psalm 75 is used for several things, but what we're working on today is promotion. So that means any kind of promotion, positive promotion in your life. So if you need a promotion in your job or your career, or you want to grow in any way, maybe in your art or your music that needs more promotion, a bigger audience, anything that you want promoted, that's a righteous desire of the heart, and you have every right to that. And so that's what we're working on today. Now, the way we work a psalm spell is super simple and very powerful. We take the psalm in question and we read it all the way through out loud once without stopping. We call this an incantation. Then we take the same psalm and we go through it again. We go through it verse by verse, sometimes even line by line. I sometimes even go through it word by word. And we try to find hidden, occult meanings behind each of those phrases. And we view them as ancient seeds of magic that are always there, available to be planted into our deep mind. And the way we plant them into our deep mind is by plowing the field and planting them deeply through that act of searching and finding and contemplating and applying what we find to our purpose at hand. And you don't have to worry whether you're good at this or not. Just the act of doing it is all that is necessary. So you will find that there are an infinite amount of these magic seeds. You'll never find them all. And that's what we're going to do right now with Psalm 75. Unto thee, O God, do we give thanks, unto thee do we give thanks, for that thy name is near, thy wondrous works declare. When I shall receive the congregation, I will judge uprightly. The earth and all the inhabitants thereof are dissolved. I bear up the pillars of it, Selah. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked, lift not up the horn. Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor the west, nor from the south. But God is the judge. He putteth down one, and setteth up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same, but the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. Here we go. We're going to work this magic. Now think about whatever you need promotion in, whatever you want to grow and promote and get bigger and bigger. So we're starting out with, unto thee, O God, do we give thanks. Unto thee do we give thanks. All right, twice have we said that. So our first foray into this type of magic is gratitude. And before we even do anything else, we are addressing the Lord of these Psalms as the word God and giving thanks. Now, it's very important that we define for ourselves what we mean by God, who we're addressing in these Psalms. It is not a deity. It is not a personality. There's not some dude up in the sky. It's not a man. It's not a woman. Okay? It is pure principle of life itself. It's that which is beating your heart right now. It is infinite intelligence. It's the intelligence that knows how to create solar systems. It knows how to grow a baby out of an embryo and a forest out of an acorn, etc., etc. So we are talking about the force of life itself, the force of infinite intelligence itself. It's nothing that's separate from us. In fact, it is closer to us than anything else. And we are extensions of that source. We are to that source as a beam of sun is to the sun itself. We are like sunbeams. So, unto thee, O God, do we give thanks. Unto thee do we give thanks. That thy name is near, thy wondrous works declare. For that thy name is near, thy wondrous works declare. Okay, so when the name is near, when we're talking about the name of something in the Psalms, we're talking about its nature. That's what its qualities are. So the name of God, there's names of God. The names of God are the qualities of God. And you can name them infinitely. Infinite life, infinite intelligence, divine love, perfect spirit, unassailable spirit, divine truth. So, etc., etc. There's so many ways that you can think of. Infinite beauty, okay? And all of the qualities of God have no opposites. There's no opposing principle. There's not two principles in life. There's not good and evil. That doesn't exist. Evil exists to the degree that in this world that we allow a shadowing of divine principle. But from the divine point of view, there is only principle. So we can have an experience of evil here, but that does not mean that the evil is real. That means that we are believing in some sort of an illusion. So for that, thy name is near, thy wondrous works declare. So the name or the nature of the infinite also declares the works of the infinite, the manifestations of the infinite. So when we are looking to have a manifestation in any part of our life, the wondrous works of God, as is told in the Psalm, we need to consider what that quality of God is, what that name of God is. Okay, now that's not saying you can't use divine names and magical names and all of those wonderful things that we teach in the magical arts, but that's not what is being spoken of here. We're talking about something much, much more sophisticated than anything that you can find anywhere else. It's going right straight to the core of who God is and what God is for us. Remember, God is not male or female, it's pre-gender. The earth and all the inhabitants thereof are dissolved. I'm sorry, I skipped one. Here we go. When I shall receive the congregation, I will judge uprightly. Now all of a sudden we're changed to person. Now God is speaking. This is the voice of God. When I shall receive the congregation, I will judge uprightly. Well, let's look at who the congregation is. The congregation is all of our thought forms. Now they are all of the thought forms which are real. They are the thought forms which God created. It's our soul. It's who we truly are. Now, some of those thought forms are not operating at their peak all the time. There's a lot of us that have many weaknesses and things in this world that because we've forgotten who we are and why we're here. But when God receives the congregation, God judges uprightly, and that's exactly what you want. You want God to receive all aspects of your mind and judge it. Because God's judgment is basically separating the chaff from the grain. This is real, this is false, this is real, this is false. Keep, throw away, keep, throw away. Just like spring cleaning in your closet. I want to keep these, I want to toss those, right? And so when God judges us uprightly, judges the congregation uprightly, we want that. Because then God knows better than we do which things are things to keep and which things are erroneous that we picked up that don't really belong to us. The earth and all the inhabitants thereof are dissolved. I bear up the pillars of it. Okay. So God's capable of, now the earth and its inhabitants being dissolved. The earth is manifestation. The earth is the manifestation of a thought. All thought wants to manifest on some level in the earth. So those are circumstances, those are possessions, those are relationships. That's what the inhabitants of the earth are. Now, God can dissolve that, and God can bear the pillars up of it. And that's what we want. We want God to say, dissolve the things that are not right, dissolve the things that are not truly who I am, the things that I picked up, and bear up the pillars of the things which are true, that those things that which we do want, those things which are our highest good. And then Selah means just hang out and think about that for a second. God can get rid of the stuff that no longer serves us and strengthen the things that are good for us and are important to us. and important for us. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked, lift not up the horn. Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck. Oh boy, this is a good one. So, God said to the fools, deal not foolishly. Now that seems easy, right? Don't be so foolish. So that's how he deals with you. He tells you this is foolish, that's good. This is wicked, that's bad, right? This is good, bad. This is God's judgment. This is what we want. Now he says to the wicked, lift not up the horn. Lift not up your horn on high. Speak not with a stiff neck. It's using an agricultural type of symbolism here of like a beast of burden. Okay, a beast of burden that defies its master is lifting up its horn. It's trying to rend the master. It's speaking from a stiff neck. It's not allowing itself to be yoked. And what we're saying is, wait a minute, we want to be yoked. We want to be yoked. We don't want to lift up our horns and defy God's judgment. We don't want to do that. We don't want to say, no, I'm right. What I care about, what I want, when I want it, how I want it. God, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know anything. I know what I want, and you don't. And that's what this is talking about. It's just like, wait a minute, let's let ourselves be yoked. Let's let ourselves not raise our horns up to God and say, no, my way or no way, God. No, we want to be shown. Wait a minute, a lot of my ways are going to cause me pain. A lot of my ways are stuff that I picked up that I don't want. A lot of my ways are what is standing in the way of this promotion that I desire. So if I really want this promotion, God knows how to get there and I don't. That's good to know. God's way works, mine doesn't. God, go ahead and yoke me. I want to be yoked, not because I'm thinking of myself as less than or some sort of pitiful servant or some sort of lowly being. No, yoking in this sense means train me. Show me, give me lessons. I don't want to just go bang, 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 bang on the piano keys. I want to learn how to play beautiful melodies. Yoke my hands so that they know the right scales. They know what to do. They know how to get there. So whatever we want promotion in, we want God to yoke us and to train us and to show us how to be, do, or have the things that are so important for us, and not just say, oh, no, I'm going to do it my way. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor the west, nor from the south. I guess it comes from the north. But that's not really what it's talking about here. It's saying that you're not going to get the promotion from the world. You're going to get the promotion from God. And the promotion's going to come out of some direction that you were not necessarily expecting it oftentimes. It will happen like toast popping up out of a toaster when you least expect it. And so basically, this is reminding us, don't belabor the idea. Don't obsess over what you want. Allow it to happen as it happens. Okay, but God is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. And that's what you want. Not this, not this, this. And that way, when God's in charge of all of that, and you're just following, it's like having the ultimate teacher in whatever area of your life you want to become an expert at. Aren't you glad? Isn't that nice to know that there's a teacher there ready to help you, to promote you in whatever ways you need to be promoted, and to train you and to show you and to separate out what is no longer good for you and what is good for you? It's good to know. Any area of your life where you had some expert that could come in and say, you know, here's what you want to keep, here's what you want to get rid of, here's how to make this work, I'm an expert and I'm going to show you how. You would gladly say, yay, yay, yay. In fact, you'd probably pay, if you could afford it, lots and lots of money for a person like that to come in. Well, the good news is that you have that all the time, at every moment of time and point of space. God is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. Okay. God's got a cup of red wine, and it's got stuff mixed in it. It's got herbs mixed in it. It's got things in it. It's like a medicine. And God's got this red cup with medicine in it. And the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. And you want that. You want the medicine to come in and purify all of those, quote, wicked thought forms from you. You want God's medicine. Yeah, it's bitter sometimes. Yeah, doesn't taste good sometimes. But you know, the only ones that have to take that medicine are the thoughts that we no longer want to keep. Those wicked thoughts. It's only for the wicked in us. And so if we allow God to medicate our mind with this cup of fortified wine, we don't have to think about anything. We don't have to worry about anything. It's done for us on our behalf. All then we have to do is focus on is what's next to do in front of us. What's the next indicated step? And we will be shown each step along the way. And that promotion that we are desiring is inevitable. It's just a natural outgrowth of this. But we got to allow that fortified wine to be given to those parts of ourselves which are diseased thinking. Basically, it's like spiritual antibiotics that are going into our deep mind and rooting out all of those thoughts that are diseased, so that we are no longer being plagued by these situations of our own making, which come from the depths of our subconscious mind. But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the God of Jacob. Now, declare forever. How do you declare forever? Well, forever is the part of a fairy tale that's ever after, happily ever after. So to declare forever means that you're going to declare in the moment, in the present moment. And that means that you want to try to always stay in the present moment, because that's where God lives. If we are in the present moment, we are closer to heaven than anywhere else in our lives, and what's called heaven in the Psalms. Singing praises to the God of Jacob means that you're singing praises to that part of yourself that, regardless of your flaws, God loves you anyway. That's who Jacob is. God didn't care that Jacob made mistakes. God didn't care that Jacob screwed up again and again and again and made really big mistakes and had huge flaws that make our mistakes and our flaws seem like nothing. God didn't care. God just did that same thing with Jacob that God's doing with us, because we are Jacob. Jacob is a story, right? It's a symbol, and did the same thing. Yes, we'll keep this. No, we'll not keep that. Yes, we'll keep this. No, we won't keep that. And now God says to Jacob, I'm going to rename you Israel, which means that you're pretty exalted. You're pretty awesome. And God gave Jacob everything. And that's what's going to happen to you. God's going to give you everything, regardless of the mistakes that you've made in the past, regardless of your, quote, shortcomings. God does not care, because what we're doing is we're giving God everything and saying, please separate out the chaff from the grain and take away the things from me that no longer serve me. And that's all that it takes. That's all that it takes. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. Think of the horns in this regard. Remember, as that beast of burden, as your willpower, as your will. Well, God wants you to keep your will. God doesn't want you to be without a will. But what's going to happen is the horns are going to be cut off from those parts of your mind that don't serve you. Those are the bad things. Those are your bad wills. Those are your addictions. Those are your obsessions. All of your shortcomings. All of your character flaws and character weaknesses, everybody's got those, but God's going to cut the horns off of those because you've given God permission to do that, that's a horrible symbol. That simply means that the will to destroy yourself is now gone. And where the horns that are going to be exalted are the parts of you that share the will of your soul. And that is God's will. And you know what God's will for you is, right? that you be happy, that you succeed, that you thrive, that you have everything that you could possibly ever need in order to have the best life you can have here. That's God's will for you. So we want God's will. Our will for ourselves is the will to be separate from that. And if we have in order to separate from God's will of perfection for us, we have to have imperfection and disease and unhappiness and poverty and cruelty and poor relationships and arguments and wars and violence and rape and all of those things which are there to prove to us that we are separate from our good. So we want the horns cut off from those things because those are a pseudo will, and we want instead for the horns to be exalted, the willpower of who we truly are, of our soul, of who we are as righteous individuals here. That we have things in our lives that are unique unto us. God created you completely unique. You have a spiritual thumbprint that is like nobody else's, and therefore your function in this world is unique, and therefore you should be promoted in those areas of your life which are important to you, because those areas of your life are there as an expression of your unique qualities of wonder that God created for you and as you and through you. And that's exactly what God is lifting up now and getting rid of all of those things which no longer serve you. And for that we are very, very grateful. And that's how we work this psalm. Keep coming back to this psalm and allow yourself to be promoted in ways that were, before this, only part of your wildest imagination. And you're going to start seeing things unfold in your life that are truly, truly the best. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I can't wait to work with you again. And until next time, blessed be.